Today we're going to go through this GCSE biology question. This is from the 2019 AQA biology paper 1. And this question is to do with the heart, which a lot of students find quite tricky. Let's get started with the question. So it's a 4-mark question. And it says, Figure 6 shows the internal structure of the human heart. One of the heart valves is labeled, which they've labeled for us, and that's the valve between the atrium and the ventricle. So it's an atrioventricular valve. And it says, sometimes a valve in the heart can start to leak. Explain why a person with a leaking heart valve has difficulty exercising. So for this question, we need to remember what valves are specifically for. So valves are mainly for preventing backflow. And they can be in between the atrium and the ventricle, and between the ventricle and the artery that connects as well. So this is also a valve, a semilunar valve, because from between the ventricle and this artery here. The valves mainly prevent backflow. Now this is a 4-mark question, so they want you to link your knowledge to do with the valves to exercising. So we want to link what we know about valves and arteries and blood flow to exercising. And when they mean by exercising, they mean its effect on respiration and so on and so forth. So we know that valves prevent backflow. So if a valve starts leaking, what would happen? Well, that means that backflow would occur, and the backflow occurs. And if backflow occurs, which is just the blood flowing back into the ventricle, then that means less blood overall is going to be leaving the heart, isn't it? So less blood leaves the heart, or you can even say, there's less blood pressure or something like that. But essentially the main thing is that less blood is leaving the heart, and specifically say via artery. Now, why does less blood leaving the heart affect exercising? So firstly, with blood, obviously blood carries a lot of things, but in this situation, we're going to be linking this specifically to oxygen, because that is the main thing here. So blood carries oxygen, and if less blood is leaving the heart, that means less oxygen is being carried. So less O2 around. And what does that mean for respiration then? Because when we're exercising, we need energy and that we need to respire. So that means, first of all, less oxygen is supplied to the muscle cells, specifically muscle cells, because, we're talking about exercising here. If this was something else, we'd be talking about some other type of cell, but this is to do with exercising. So we're going to be talking about muscles. And so there would be less aerobic respiration. Aerobic, because that is the type of respiration that needs oxygen. And so we can link that to less energy and less muscle contraction, because we want to link this to exercise at the end of the day. Now, we can also go another way with this. So here I talked about aerobic respiration, but we can also talk about anaerobic respiration. So let me clear this. So let's talk about anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration obviously occurs when we have less oxygen. So that would be happening in a situation like this, wouldn't it? So when we have anaerobic respiration, one of our products is lactic acid. And we know from our knowledge that lactic acid building up leads to muscle fatigue. So that is also another point you can mention. Build up, use muscle fatigue. As well as oxygen debt as well. So these are all the points that you could have possibly questioned. The fact that it's a 4-mark question, let's talk about that. So there's 2 levels for this, level 1 and level 2. Now, in order to get level 2 in this question, in order to get either 3 or 4 marks, you would have had to link your knowledge to respiration and this is and not all, and effects on muscle exercise. So it's all well and good that you know what the valves do, etc., but you have to link it to respiration and exercise as well. You won't be getting this either 3 or 4 marks if you don't link your knowledge to both of these things. And the difference between getting 3 marks and 4 marks is just, your quality of writing and how you set it out. So hopefully this helped and you got an idea on how you would handle a question like this. Main thing here is obviously your content as well, because that allows you to link all your points together. But that's how you would do that.